Obviously, because of where we're located, safety is top of mind right now. When you're looking at boarding schools, you're looking at all kinds of safety. Who will take care of my children? Is there a child protection policy in place? Are the dorms safe? How are the adults? But we add a whole different level to safety in Jordan because of where we are. School was opened, our faculty meetings by a member of the Upper House of Parliament, and he talked to the faculty about the beauty of Jordan, the history of Jordan, but he did say we're in a difficult neighborhood. We're very much aware of the geopolitical situation, very close to us. But I hope parents understand that Jordan is a peaceful country, thoroughly committed to the peace process. Our king, he is one of the most brilliant thinkers I have ever met. He's on the world stage talking about peace, and we are safe. King's Academy is about 30 minutes outside of Jordan on property that was once a cucumber farm. We're surrounded by animals and farms, a very peaceful community near us. Inside these walls, we're very safe. One of the things I like most about this school is you see knapsacks all over campus, sometimes to our chagrin because people trip over them, but that is a sign of how much the kids trust the people around them and how safe we are. We don't lock our doors. The head's house is open, and that's because we have such a well-developed security system. You cannot get in the gates of the school without proper identification, and obviously you're very connected to the Royal Court, who monitors our safety and security all the time. I've never felt safer in a boarding school than I feel here. This is our community, and we work together, we know each other, and it's not that easy to get in. However, parents can always get in. If their students are boarding here, they're most welcome on campus, and the kids can leave campus. And Amman is very safe, and we do not feel what's going on in the outside world here.
So the culture and traditions of the Middle East are alive, and they flow through every aspect of King's. Students who study here from abroad will get to know so many things that too few people in the world really understand. They'll get to pick up on the beauty and the nuance of the culture here in the Middle East and the Arab world. And there are too few people outside of the Arab world who appreciate that beauty and all those nuances. And our King's Academy graduates who came here to study from abroad are some of those few people, not only the language, but also things like what's manaish, which is a delicious bread with olive oil and za'atar on it. They'll know that. They'll know what iftar is. They'll have tasted Arabic coffee and Turkish coffee. They'll understand what Ramadan is, and that there are two different Eid breaks. So there are two different Eid holidays. So they'll know so many things that too few people know. And those are just some little things that could make a big difference and demonstrate cultural competency. On a more practical scale, of course, we have opportunities for kids to go and experience things like markets, practice using their language to buy things and to order things. They'll have a chance to, and so that language study and that language fluency is a really important part of King's, and it's really an important part of what we're trying to do here, creating leaders of the future for this region, of course, but also for the world. The importance of using language. At King's, it has an incredible opportunity to really align with the mission, because for the future of this region and the world, that respectful dialogue, that exchange of ideas, that ability to articulate points is really, really critical. So I think that's an important part of King's too, and how the curriculum and our region play together. And of course, one of the really exciting things is that students will get to explore different areas of Jordan. We really encourage them to get out and experience many of the cultural sites that we have here, whether it's Petra, which is one of the 7 wonders of the world, and riding a camel, to going camping at Wadi Rum with His Majesty. A month or so before graduation, our seniors get to have that incredible and rare privilege of real dialogue, real conversation, in a very intimate setting with one of the most important and foremost diplomats, leaders, and thinkers in the world. And that's a truly rare thing that not many students can say that they have. And that's something that we're very fortunate.
We also have this deep commitment to STEM and the humanities. Jordan's becoming a very technologically driven place, but we recognize we're steeped in the humanities. This is where the three religions come together. The historical sites in Jordan are amazing, and most of them are still underground and need excavating. So you realize when you are in Amman, not so much when you're in our campus out in the country, but you're walking in footsteps of time. And that has to influence students. And we know that you cannot make good decisions about the present if you don't understand the past. So they're infused with a lot of very important information about the world in which they live. And they move around with flexibility and with confidence. I think confidence. These kids, if you want a differentiator, these kids come out of the school with confidence. And what university, what business does not want confident human beings?
When you're considering a huge move and a huge life choice, maybe the first one of this nature that a family might be considering, or the first big choice that a student might be making on their own, it's a huge deal. And the best advice that I can offer is to ask the right questions and trust your instincts. I think instincts are a really important part of this process, but there's some questions that can be helpful. And the first one is to really view the school through the lens of, am I going to be welcomed and cared for there? That's the most basic thing that a student taking the big chance to study abroad should be asking. And then there are some logistical factors that families might want to consider as well. How will they support international students studying abroad with things like visas and airport transportation and accommodation for families if they're planning to come and visit? How far is it from a major city, and how accessible is transportation? Those are some important questions for international families to consider. Another really, and I think this is honestly the most important thing, is for families to ask themselves, am I going to feel othered at this school? How will I balance retaining what's important to me about my own culture while embracing a new one at the same time? And how big are those differences between my culture and the school's culture? How wide is that gap between mine and the school's, and how will that feel? Will the differences be celebrated and embraced, or will they make me feel a little less comfortable than I deserve to feel? A student taking the big risk to study for high school in another country should feel as comfortable as possible, and they should feel that their culture is embraced and celebrated, and that they're able to retain that which they love and embrace those new things that are appealing to them. So I think those are some of the most important questions, logistical and philosophical. But by considering all of those different things, they should be able to make a comfortable choice. And I think King's is an amazing community for students from around the world because it is such a diverse place. I think international students here at King's feel that they're able to, exactly as we hope they would, retain what they love about their own and embrace an amazing new culture.